Hi there everybody, welcome to another video. On today's video I have this Lexus CT200h, and this is a 2010 by the way, 10 or 11, and basically I've been asked to replace the EGR valve in this car. So the EGR valve is this one here, and this is a new one. So normally what happens with these EGR valves, they get blocked and then they stop working. So there's a little solenoid in there that opens and closes. And usually, apparently, what Toyota themselves told me is that when we use 0W20 oil, it sort of is so thin that it burns and starts forming this dust, which then this sort of carbon dust, which then blocks the EGR valve and some of the relevant parts there. In this occasion, I'm only doing the EGR valve. There's another part that they also recommend changing, but this customer, particular one, didn't want to change it, so just doing the EGR valve. And I just wanted to show you how I'm actually getting to it. So what I've done so far is I remove the air filter here. So if you take out the cover of the air filter, you have to loosen this here. Take out the cover, and then you can remove the air filter box, which is sitting here, and there are two 10mm bolts holding it. One 10mm is screwed here and the other one is screwed there. So remove those two 10mm. The 10mm is sitting in there and is covered by this, by the way. So you have to remove the filter to get to one of the 10mm. The other 10mm is just visible in a little rubber mount, and then that can come out. You need to remove the hose is plugged in onto it. After that, I removed this hose here. Well, it's not a hose, this pipe. You can see the carbon on this pipe as well, how it starts forming. That is held in by 4 10mm, and that just goes from here to there, to the EGR. And actually, on top of one of those 10mm, there is another 10mm, which with this little thing here, this that bracket there, that bracket holds this pipe in place. So this pipe is just plugged in onto that bracket. So you need to just take it out. I usually just pull them out. It kind of opens the clips a little bit, but as long as they don't break, you can plug them back in, or you can just use another cable tie afterwards. So anyway, I went ahead and removed that. Then I removed these. All of these are 12mm, by the way, 12mm bolts. I removed this one here, and I removed another one that's on the back. It's down there. Although I think the one on the back wasn't really required to remove. And then I removed a 12mm nut that's sitting here as well. So that is sitting on there. But also you do need to remove this stud here, because otherwise you will not be able to remove this without removing the entire assembly. And for that I use this. This is like a reverse Torx tool, and it's a size 8. A bit difficult to see there, but it's a size 8. So I've got that on the end of that and cracked it open. It was all of these bolts and the nuts, they crack really, when you open them, they really sound like they're cracking. But anyway, you have to be careful, especially be careful with this one here, because this one, if we damage it, then we'll be stuck until we can actually take it out and get a new one. Now, the most difficult bits on this particular car would be to remove the two nuts that are holding the EGR valve around the back here. So there will be one there and then another one here. So those are this one here and that one there, the two nuts that go in there. So I've already taken them out, and I just used one of these 12 mil, and I used this little one here. So when you remove these bolts here, this will sort of all be a bit more flexible. Obviously I unplugged that as well from there, and there is another 10 mil holding this here. I removed everything just to give me room to get behind. So with this 12 mil I got in here, and I managed to get the 12 mil nut from there. So there's not much room, as you can see. Use your two hands, push this thing out of the way. Again, push this out of the way, and you'll be able to move it in small motions. But once it's open a few times, it's easy to, it just unwinds with your finger. And same with the other one, but I had to use this. So I've got it from here in there, and push down while holding it in place. It was obviously a little bit harder because this is half the size of that other one, but once it was open, it was easier to, once it's open, you can unwind it with your finger. So that one still there. So you can just about see that it's just sitting there. And so the thing is, before you can actually take this out, you do need to get this out. So there we are. Opening this with I have a tiny little ratchet. It was a little bit challenging. I was a bit scared of damaging this, to be honest, but it did crack open. It sounded like a crack, but there we are. Now you can see this EGR is quite nice and loose, but I need to remove the 12 mil from there. And I don't want to drop it, so I'm just going to remove that. Okay, so I just got a little magnet so I don't drop it. Just managed to catch it before it dropped. But there we are. That is out. Happy days. Now this EGR can come out, and this is how it gets really dirty and it gets stuck. Now in the past I have removed these and cleaned them, gave them a good clean, but sometimes they remain, unless you clean it extremely well, they carry on being faulty. So, and that there is how it gets dirty in there as well. So, well, sometimes, so as I was saying, they do recommend to change this part here as well. So it's something to consider, but that is a lot more laborious there. So I am going to blow it a little bit and try to clean it, but fitting the new valve is the reversal of removal. So what we had, to be honest, I'm not sure what issues this car had. They just asked me to change the EGR valve. However, in the past, the issue I had with the previous car was that it went into limp mode and the engine light was on. And the fault code was something to do, it was saying EGR valve stuck. And then the other issue I had with one of these is that it was very noisy. It was noisy to the point, well, I didn't know where the noise was coming from. It sounded like it's coming from the transmission or anything. So, as I was saying, it sounded so bad that it sounded like there was something wrong with the engine or the transmission, but it was this thing that was making a tremendous noise. This is many years ago when I first came across one of these dodgy, well, one of these valves that went potty. So it is recommended to use 5W30, and that should keep this going a little bit longer. Now in the kit, in the new kit, when you buy this, which is about £500 by the way, so that's why it's not cheap, you could try cleaning it. You do get new gaskets, so that's a gasket there, and I get a new one for that, and also get a new one for this end. And having said that, I'm going to refit this now. Again, same sort of process, just a bit long and winded, but just take your time. And so, having said that, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. So thank you for watching.